Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone to another Ref Brandon and the Todd family YouTube video. Wherever you are, whatever you may be doing, thank you so much for making Ref Brandon and the Todd family a part of your day. We always greatly appreciate it. Today's video is going to be my quick opinion on the new AP Top 10 since it came out yesterday. But before I get into that, let me quickly say that if you're a baseball fan or a Braves fan, the Braves won yesterday by the score of 5-3. They took 2 out of 3 from the Marlins over the weekend. They now have a 4.5 game lead over the Philadelphia Phillies. The Braves have 20 games left, and the Phillies have, I believe, 19 games left. The Braves are 10 games above 500 with a record of 76 wins and 66 losses. Will Smith got his 32nd save of the year in that win yesterday. The tightest race right now in baseball is the American League's second wild card spot. The first wild card spot is pretty much already gone. But the Yankees had a big, long winning streak, and it looked like they were going to run away with the second wild card. But now, all of a sudden, they've lost like 13 of 15, and they've pretty much let the Blue Jays catch up with them. And it would just completely, totally break my heart if the New York Yankees missed the playoffs. Y'all just don't know how much that would tear me up. But that's my quick Braves review. On to the new AP Top 10. It came out yesterday since all the games were on Saturday. Alabama is still number 1. Georgia is still number 2. The funny thing, at least to me, that I thought was funny was all the Georgia fans were having a fit about Stetson Bennett playing in Saturday's game against UAB. But if you watched my video that I did either on Friday or Saturday, I think it was Saturday, and I was talking about Stetson Bennett, it didn't really matter. I know Stetson Bennett had his chances last year, and he couldn't beat anybody that was good, but it was UAB. Stetson Bennett is a senior. He's been there this whole time. He's been true to the program. He hasn't transferred like a lot of quarterbacks do this day and time. What does it matter if he plays against UAB? Plus, if you watch the game, he actually played a lot better than Carson Beck did. I think now I know why Stetson Bennett played that game, because Carson Beck looked average at best, and that's being kind. But Georgia is number 2. Oklahoma is number 3. Oregon jumps from, I think, 12th last week up to 4th this week. They struggled in week 1 and only beat Fresno State by the score of 31-24. But I think beating Ohio State was a huge win for them. And I know I said I thought Ohio State would beat them, and I did, but that was just because that game on Saturday was a 9 a.m. kickoff for the Oregon Ducks, and I just know that's awfully early to be on the football field. But I think it's clear now that Ohio State has a lot of work to do with their defense. Their defense was pretty good last year, but it wasn't great. But they gave up 31 points to Minnesota, and then Minnesota only scored 31 points again Saturday when they beat the Miami of Ohio Redhawks. And then Oregon only scored 31 against Fresno State, but then they scored 35 against Ohio State. So I think it's clear that even though Olave might be the best receiver in the country, Ohio State's defense has a long way to go, but that win definitely propelled Oregon up to the 4th spot. Iowa is now 5th after beating who was at the time on Saturday's game number 9 Iowa State 27-17. Iowa jumps from 10 to 5. Now, for all you people who are always talking about schedules, and you know I'm not talking about me, because to me the schedules don't mean diddly squat. You play who you play who's on your schedule. That's all you can do. But for all you people that say, oh, it's a tough schedule, then Iowa should be number 1 in America, because they're the only team that has 2 wins over ranked teams. They beat Indiana in week 1, and then they beat Iowa State in week 2. And if you watch those games, they pretty much dominated both games. Neither game, honestly, was close. Clemson stays at number 6, which was not a surprise because, yeah, they won big, but they beat South Carolina State. And then Oregon's win over Ohio State and Iowa's win over Iowa State was a lot more impressive than Clemson beating South Carolina State. So they stayed at 6. Texas A&M falls to 7. But don't worry, they'll fall some more because everybody's got a love fest with Jimbo Fisher. I don't. I think he's terrible. But A&M had to score with like 2 minutes to go in the game to beat Colorado by the score of 10-7. So that's why they fell to number 7. Cincinnati is number 8. Ohio State falls to number 9. And Penn State jumps up to number 10. So 2 weeks into the season, you've already got Clemson at 6 and Ohio State at 9 with 1 loss. But, of course, both teams lost to other top 10 or top 5 teams, which is why they're still in the top 10, even though they're both 1-1 on the season. Ohio State's defense has a long way to go, and Clemson's offense has a long way to go. I know I touched on that the other day, but even against South Carolina State, to me, their offense still just, it's missing something. I don't know what it is, but their offense has a long way to go, and they better get it fixed, and better get it fixed in a hurry, or they'll wind up with 3 or 4 losses on the season. I'm not going to go over the entire top 25. You can always get on Google and look it up if you do so choose, but that is the top 10. And, of course, the top 10, in my opinion, is always the most important thing. But that is my opinion of this week's AP Top 10. The NFL has one more game left in the week, and that is the Monday Night Football game coming up tonight between the Ravens and the Raiders. I'm going to try to talk more about the NFL later on this week after week 1 is completely, totally wrapped up. Let's go ahead and get our dad joke of the day in here. We started a band and called it Books, so no one can judge us by our covers. And that wraps it up for today's Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Until next time, it's Ref Brandon saying, just like in pro wrestling, life can be over by the count of 3. Tell your friends and family how much you love them. Bye.